What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with the review for Sistas on BT Season 4, Episode 1. The episode was titled A Brick Wall, you guys. Now, before we go ahead and get into the review, you guys, the one thing I do want to say is I know that the audio has been messed up a lot lately. I want you guys to just be patient with me because I'm really trying to figure out what the issue is. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I've updated my phone and it still does it. The microphone I unplugged. I don't know what the issue is. So I'm really trying my hardest to figure it out, you guys. But before we get into the review, you guys, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel and you guys are not yet subscribed to the channel, then I'm gonna need you guys to do me a big solid favor and stop taking out on this date and having me foot the bill at the end of it. Do me that favor by liking this video, turn your notifications on, subscribe to the channel, and sharing the video. And you guys, with that out the way, without further ado, let us go ahead and discuss Sistas, shall we? All right, you guys, so with Sistas, this episode picked up where we left off, you guys. You guys remember in the season finale of season 3, we ended the season with the situation between Andy, Gary, and Robin, right? Or so we thought. Remember that Andy woke up to get ready for work, right? She was freaking out because Robin had called Fatima. She didn't want Fatima to, know that they were together. And, Robin had said, hey, we want to do this again. And she was like, who? And a lot of people thought that it might have been that other woman, but Gary came out of the bathroom, right? Well, suffice it to say, all of that was a dream that Andy was having, right? But she still did end up having that same conversation, with the exception of the we want to do this again with Robin, right? She's telling Robin how, he says, well, just sit and talk to me, right? Because you only call me when you've been drinking, right? She says, I've heard that before. He says that you call guys when you're drunk. She says, yes, because I'm really shy. And I was like, do you guys peg Andy to be shy? Andy, shy. Okay, stranger things happen, right? So then we move over and, actually, no, we don't move over. He was telling her, how about you come to Paris with me, right? Not Paris, London with me, right? So we can pitch to the partners. She's like, no, I need to get to work. Yes, please go. Get to work. Go. Leave. So then we move over to Danny. And you guys remember in the season finale, we ended the scene with Danny with El Fuego as she was ushering him out of her apartment. And when she went to her door, who was there? Preston was there, right? So when Preston comes in, that's when El Fuego decides he wants to pretend that he's gay, right? Terrible depiction of being gay, but, and then it was like, what are you doing? He was like, he was trying to help her out. And she was like, yeah, it's not working, buddy. He was like, oh, for real? All right, bro, peace. So then he leaves. So then, that's when Preston's like, okay, so is he licking your butt too? I was like, Preston, come on. And she asked him, she was like, so Preston, why did you just show up here in my apartment like this, right? You've shown up unannounced. He says, well, I thought that you would like it and I thought it would be a surprise, but I also lost my phone. And then she goes and brings up his cousin. I'm like, see, this is my issue with you, Danny. You deflect. But I will say though, in this scene, I was very proud of Danny because I've been saying this for the last few seasons now, that I wanted Danny to speak up and say what is really on her mind. And she actually did that. She told Preston, and I was like, come on, Danny. I was really proud of Danny for this because she told Preston that, you don't respect my boundaries. You show up to my apartment unannounced, right? You come here with food and get my landlord to let you in. Like you're doing things that I'm not comfortable with, right? Your brothers came to my job and threatened to kill me. And then I come home and you have your sister in my apartment. You didn't call me and ask me any of that stuff, if it was okay. He said, but she's nothing like them. That's not the case or the point, Preston. That's not what she's trying to say. What she's saying is, you didn't ask her if it was okay. Granted, you're saying that your sister's not like them, but how was she to know that, right? And then she made a very valid point. What if they overpower her, go through her phone, have her address, come to her apartment? So you put her in danger. So I was with Danny, right? I was with Danny in that instance as well. And I was also with Danny when she made the point of talking about the fact when he handcuffed her to that bed, gal. He said, I apologize for that. But then he got in his feelings because he was like, so I took all of that to say that you don't want to be with me. You want to be with the butt licker and the one that just left. And Dan was like, wait, I said all of that, that is what you got from that? He was like, yes. She was like, I was like, wow, Preston, that is terrible. So you can go, Preston. I was like, and he told her, don't call him anymore. I would have told him with pleasure. If that's all you got from me telling you that you invade my space, if that is all that you got from that, with pleasure, Preston, with pleasure. So we're gonna move on over to Fatima, right? So we see Fatima, she's at work, right? You guys remember in the season finale, she was in the car with Hayden. You know, she had the brass knuckles. She popped Hayden in the face, right? And she left the guys there to, rough him up, right? So she gets into the office. She sees that there's nothing but flowers all around. And the receptionist tells her that those are for Andy, right? So then she takes one of them to Andy's office, and then her office is decorated in nothing but flowers. I'm like, damn, you would think someone had died, right? So then Andy comes in and she's like, wait a minute, where did all these flowers come from? And Fatima's like, girl, I'll give you one guess. Gary. So then, Fatima talks about how good she feeling, right? And Andy was even looking at her. She's like, yeah, and I love that dress, but you have something red right there in your dress. We all know that is Hayden's blood on her dress, right? But she said she had a fruit and drink, and I'm like, that is a fruit and drink, Fatima? Okay, right. So then she asked Andy, like, did you go out last night with the girls? She said, yes, I did. She said, was Karen there? She says, yes. She said, did Karen mention me? She says, no. So she said, did she say anything else? No. She said she was upset, but she said to invite you, but I didn't do that. She said, well, did she mention anything else? She says, no. Was she supposed to? She was. But y'all didn't catch the clues why she wasn't drinking. But that's neither here nor there, right? So then we move over to Karen's salon, right? And it is Pam there, and there's another stylist in the back. And then I noticed, I'm like, ooh, there's a customer. Well, it wasn't a customer, because Pam said, well, that lady right there, she been waiting for you. Do you want to call her over her? She says, no, I'll go over to her. No, call her over her. What are you going to do, Pam? I can be backup. So the lady comes over, right, in a terrible wig and an ill-fitted suit. And she's saying that she's asking Karen if Zach lives with her. And she was like, no. What is this about? She says this is about a legal matter. She says, what kind of legal matter? And the woman refuses to tell her. Lady, Tyler, lady, and Tyler, and lady. If this is a legal matter, wouldn't she have come with a warrant or something like that? I'm just questioning. I don't know. I'm just asking questions. Just asking a question. So let's move over to the bank, right? So you guys, when we get over to the bank, we got some people in the bank. We got another teller. We got 3 people in line. And I was like, ooh, okay. So the bank is not as empty today, right? So Sabrina, she's talking to Maurice, right? Who doesn't want to talk to her. And then he's auditing, right? And when she leaves out, his phone rings and he answers the phone, and it's a call from Fulton County, correctional facility, right? And he's like, who was this calling me? I'm like, Maurice, you know exactly who that is calling you. It is Q. And he says, it's Q, right? So Q says that the DA has given him a deal, right? And then he asks Maurice if he gets out, can he stay with him See, Maurice stayed on that phone a little bit too long for me because I would have hung up the minute he said, "Can I stay with you?" I would have said, "Click." So when Sabrina left out of the room with Maurice, Danny calls her because Danny was at work, right? And she told her about the situation with Preston, right? And how Preston said, "Don't call her, don't call him," right? She says, "For now," she says, "ever." So then we find out that Sabrina had called Calvin down to the bank because Danny was like, "Hey, yeah, go ahead and call Penny Man." She says, "Well, he just showed up here." She says, "He's at the bank." She says, "Yes." So she hangs up with Danny, right? So the reason that Penny Man is down there at the bank is because, like I said, Sabrina called him because she wants him to go in there and talk to Maurice. Do you know about his dad? Yes, I do. How? Maurice and Calvin have only been living together. This timeline, you guys, the timeline, they haven't been living together that long. They haven't known each other that long. So how in the hell would he know about his father? Whatever, right? So Calvin went into the room where Maurice is doing the hunt, right? He says, "Did Sabrina send you down here?" He says, "Yes." He says, "What do you want?" He says, "I want to see if I'm checking on you." "I'm fine, bitch." He says, "And stop wearing those tight pants. The only person that can wear tight pants right here is me." So then he says, "Well, I got this friend, and yes, I do have gay friends." He says, "I have this friend that I think you might like, and I want you guys to, meet up, get to know each other, right?" I was like, oh God. The only person who's putting him up to this is that damn Sabrina. Like, I know it's Sabrina, I know it's Sabrina, I know it's Sabrina. But he, Maurice eventually says, "Okay, I'll go on the date or whatever you want me to do, as long as y'all will leave me alone," basically, right? So we're gonna move forward, you guys. So then we move over to the airport, right? And Danny is at work. Then Fuego shows up because Fuego is getting ready to go to Miami. But just about an hour ago, weren't you going home so you can go take a nap? Wait. Because Danny just got to work. I'm doing the math, you guys. Think about it. I'm painting a picture for you. Remember, previous scene with Fuego and with Danny, right? Danny was getting ready to go to work, right? Fuego says he sleeps until 3 p.m., right? Danny told Fuego, "Go home to your place and sleep until 3 p.m., right?" Fuego left her place, right? Danny was talking to Preston, right? Danny left to go to work, right? Danny is at work now. Where in the hell? It ain't adding up, right? So Fuego went home and changed, and now he's going to Miami. Okay. Cool. We'll go at that, right? So then he asked Danny, "Are they dating?" She says, "Dating, Fuego? You're a stripper. You take your clothes off of women." She says, "I'm not cool with that," and all that kind of stuff. And he was like, "Oh, so you gonna be rude to me and stuff like that?" I'm like, "Well, she was telling you the truth, but I guess you couldn't handle it." So he left, right? And then there's this random guy that's just sitting there, and he gets up and says, "Danny, well, damn, he told you off." And I was just like, me and Danny were thinking the same thing. And who the hell are you to talk to me like that? Do I know you? Should you be minding your business? So then the guy started trying to talk to Danny. I was with Danny in this moment too. Brick wall, which is the name of the episode. Brick wall, because you rudely come up to me and saying, "Damn, he told you off," and now you trying to get to know me, you trying to talk to me, you trying to have a conversation with me. Sir, skedaddle. So then she goes up to this old guy that works at the airport, right? And she tells him that she thinks she has a pimp in her section, right? That is trafficking girls. I actually thought she was joking, until I saw the preview from next week's episode, I really, in that moment, thought Danny was joking. Because I was laughing through that entire scene, especially when the guy said he'll keep his eyes on him. She says, "Yo, old ass eyes." But I really thought she was joking when she kept saying that she thought she had a pimp. I thought that was a joke. But what I was laughing at was when she was talking about that man's eyes. But I really thought she was trying to just get the man out of her section. But looks like he actually might be a pimp. Going off the preview for next week's episode. So then we see Karen. So Karen found Zach, right? So she tells Zach about the lady that came to the salon looking for him, right? So she says, "Did you do anything illegal, Zach?" He says, "No." She says, "You sure?" He says, "Yes, Karen, I'm sure I didn't do anything illegal. I bought this house with my money." The money that you got from, the White Devil and her stock tip. So he tells her, "Hey, if the woman comes back, give her my number." She says, "You sure, Zach?" He says, "Yes, Karen." She says, "Well, can I see the house, Zach?" He says, "They have glass, they have this, they have that, they have..." He's telling her it's a safety hazard. And she gets upset about that. I'm like, but didn't you just take a pregnancy test and didn't it just say that you're pregnant, but you're upset that this man won't take you into a house that you see contractors and builders going into? I can't with Karen in this instance. I'm like, girl, you are really stupid that you're upset about nothing. So, oh God. We move back over to the bank with Sabrina and Calvin, who are basically just playing matchmaker with Maurice. That's all it is. They're talking about the fact that those two hit it off, then they can go out on their own date and da-da-da-da-da. I don't care. Don't care. Literally, I don't care. I really don't care when it comes to those two. But we're going to move on and wrap up the episode, you guys, because this is where the episode got really good. So, back over at Andy and Fatima's office, right? Andy and Fatima, they in the office, and, Andy is, telling Fatima about... Now, see, she was talking about how big something was. I'm just going to go out on a limb and just assume that she was talking about, Robin's manhood. I'm going to assume that's what she was talking about. So then Andy's phone rings, right? So Fatima goes and answers the phone. So the receptionist says, "Hey, Mr. Borders is here." I was like, you got to be joking with me, right? Mr. Borders is there. Okay. So, Fatima says, "Nah, you stay. I'm going to go handle this." Because she said Miss Barnes is in a meeting. She says, "I'm not in the meeting." She says, "No, I'm going to handle up on this," right? So Fatima goes out there, right? Gary's like, "Well, where's Andy?" She says she's in the meeting. He says, "Okay, well, I'll just sit and wait for her." She says, "You're going to be sitting all night, Gary." So then he says, because she says she's very busy, he says, "Okay, well, Fatima, let me talk to you." She says, "Absolutely not. I don't like you, Gary." So then he says, she says, "Gary, I'm not like Andy. I will beat your ass and make you catch a case, right?" So then they walk and they're by the stairwell. I'm like, girl, the best thing you could do is just kind of, kick him. Just kick him. That would be the best thing that you could do for me. She says, "Gary, I will fall down them stairs and I will say that you did it, hence getting you a case." He's like, oh, okay. You guys are, Gary. Didn't you just... He just ended things with her, right? He just moved out of her apartment. He said he was done. But now you're here begging for her back. Gary doesn't know what he wants, right? So then we move back over to the office where they're talking more about Robin, right? And, Andy tells Fatima that, he is the boss, right? That he just lets the white men be the face, but he runs he runs everything, right? And he has his private jet. She's like, "Oh, he got money, huh?" So then she makes us a little joke about Zach having his money, right? But Fatima says that she didn't know the Zach that they knew, right? Which is true. She doesn't know the old Zach. She just knows the Zach that she's been introduced to, right? So then they see people running, right? And I think it was a receptionist, she comes to the door and they like, what's going on? And she tells them they found Hayden dead in the parking lot. I was like, what? Are you serious? I don't know if Fatima meant for that to happen, but damn. But that was it, you guys. That was the season premiere of season 4 of Sistas. It was a good one, right? It was a really good one. Like, I don't know if I said it in this video because I previously recorded it using a different microphone, but that audio, you guys definitely would have hated that audio. But the makeup on the ladies look really good. The makeup on KJ as well as Mion, who plays Danny, their makeup was impeccable in this episode. I love their makeup. But that's it, you guys. Oh, and also I want to say congratulations to KJ and to Sky Black. They got engaged over the holidays, you guys. I think they got engaged on Christmas, if I'm not mistaken. Now, you guys know Sky Black. He played Jacoby, the one that was, giving Sabrina the hell, right? And he's also on the other show on BET Plus, All the Queen's Men. So they're engaged. So congratulations go out to both of them, you guys. And that is it, you guys. So let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel. Turn your notifications on. Share the video, you guys. And with that, I hope you guys stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Remember to wash your hands, wear a mask, socially distance, be blessed. And I'll see you guys in the next one.